Season's greetings and welcome to this holiday edition of Plugged In with our very special hosts, the Kidney Kids.
Hi, we're the Kidney Kids, and today we're here to host the Plugged In Holiday Special Show. I'm Bronwyn.
I'm Sophie. I'm Kaylana.
I'm Violet.
I'm Logan.
In case you haven't seen Plugged In before, it's a show all about your health, and specifically the health of your kidneys.
Did you know that kidney disease can affect anyone at any age?
Kids like us too.
So the Kidney Kids crew are kids like us that help raise awareness about kidney disease and organ donation.
On the show today, we thought we would celebrate the holidays Kidney Kids style. Woo!
And we're going to share with you some tips on how to keep your kidneys healthy too.
And Stanley is on the show today too.
Well, he brought his owner Hugh, who talks about his journey on dialysis. We're all going to have lots of fun, so please join us on Plugged In.
So Plugged In's visit to Kamloops would not have been complete without a visit to this beautiful, glorious location. We're about 45 minutes from Kamloops, near Penetton. We're at the majestic Hugh McLennan Ranch, where cattle rancher and horse trainer Hugh McLennan and his wife Billy run their cattle in this breathtaking rangeland. Hugh McLennan has done it all. He's been a cattle rancher, a horse trainer, an entertainer, a writer, a host, a producer of the award-winning weekly syndicated radio program, Spirit of the West, a radio show. It's been on the air continuously since 1992. And today, Plugged In is very lucky because we've been able to wrangle an invite from Hugh and his lovely wife, Billy, to this beautiful ranch. Hugh isn't alone. He's brought his gorgeous sidekick, Stanley. This is Stanley.
This is Stanley, Barb. Yeah.
So Hugh, it's absolutely glorious here. Can you tell us about the McLennan Ranch, and that's the home of the Spirit of the West?
Well, sure. Your introduction was so overwhelming, I kind of wondered who you were talking about at first there, and then I thought, gee, could you repeat that so my wife can hear it? But, we've lived up here since the early 80s, and I'm just kind of living a cowboy dream. We have cattle of our own, and we've raised cattle and horses here since that time, and we also look after about 150 cows and calves for another ranch, and those cattle graze all of these hills. It's mainly crown land, and the ranch has the grazing permit, and it takes up probably 10,000 acres without many cross fences, and it takes a decent cowboy and a real good horse to look after those cattle all summer, and we're just in the process of finding them all in these hills and bringing them down to the corrals so they can go home for the winter. So that's part of what we do, and then the radio show, of course, originates from our home studio here as well.
Right, so that is fascinating. It's been going for 25 years, this radio show.
That's right. Yeah.
My gosh, and it's broadcast across Canada and the United States.
Yeah, we're syndicated on, I think, about 25 stations now, mostly Western Canada and Northern U.S., and of course it streams on online on YouTube and on our website as well.
So you're going to give us a little bit of a show. I see Stanley's going to give us a little bit of a show. You're going to head into the corral there and do, you were saying you've got he does a few little things on a teeter-totter and...
Yeah, this is kind of his performing debut. Most of his life is up in the hills finding cows or helping me rope calves at branding time and that kind of thing. So this camera stuff is a little new to him, but we'll see how he does.
Oh. Well, he doesn't seem camera shy at all, and then we'll find out a little bit about Stanley later in the show, so stay with us. We'll be back with Hugh and Stanley shortly. Join us on March 8th, 2019 for the 7th Annual Kidney Gala. It's at the epicenter of downtown Vancouver's dynamic entertainment district, the JW Marriott Park, Vancouver. So stay tuned. We'll be back to share some exciting details about this inspirational evening.
Feed them a healthy diet. Eat foods rich in vegetables, fruit, nuts, and 1% milk products, and food low in sodium and saturated fat. This eating plan can also lower your blood pressure. I'm Bronwyn from Plugged In.
So Hugh, you've got Stanley with you.
Yeah, one of my best friends.
How old is Stanley?
Stanley is probably, we're not even sure. We think about 11.
About 11? Oh my gosh. And what kind of horse is he? Is he a particular?
He's kind of a brown one.
A brown horse. Yes, you are. He's talking away.
He's what we'd call a sorrel.
Can I say
He doesn't have a known pedigree, really. We don't know what his bloodlines are, but I think he's got some Arabian in him, and probably some quarter horse breeding. Okay, Stanley, are you ready for this? This is one of his favorite songs. Old faithful, we rode the range together. Old faithful in every kind of weather. When your roundup days are over, there'll be pastures white with clover for you, old faithful pal of mine. Hurry up, old fella, 'cause the moon is yellow tonight. Hurry up, old fella, 'cause the moon is yellow and bright. There's a coyote howling at the moon above. Carry me back to the one I love. Hurry up, old fella, we gotta make it home tonight. Old faithful, we rode the range together. Old faithful in every kind of weather. When your roundup days are over, there'll be pastures white with clover for you, old faithful pal of mine. For you, old faithful pal of mine.
Good afternoon, my name is Amin and I'm an event concierge here at the beautiful JW Marriott Vancouver. We're gathered here today with beautiful ladies here to make two signature drinks for the Kidney Gala. The first one called Blue Elixir. So it includes gin. I'm going to make it as we talk, or as I talk mostly. So half an ounce of gin, half ounce of the blue bowls. And because not very many people like gin, it's a brilliant combination to add lemon juice to it. It cuts through and it adds really nice flavors. And any beverage that comes with juice, like lemon, it gets shaken. So we're gonna go ahead and practice that right now. You may use any method of shaking. Of course, my method is better, but you may choose any. Then we're gonna add ice to the cups. Drinks are ready to go. One last stir, and then we're gonna go ahead and pour it to our glass. Beautiful blue. And finish off with tonic water. An excellent combination with gin and lemon. Just to be different, we put a different color straw. I have two beautiful ladies here to test. Naomi, please. Pam, please. Absolutely, enjoy.
And cheers.
Cheers to the Kidney Gala.
Cheers to you both.
Oh, that's delicious.
Right?
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Nice job.
So the next one is called Deep Blue. Also an excellent recipe, very simple, very light, easy to drink. This time we are eliminating the gin and adding Malibu instead. And instead of the half an ounce, we're gonna go ahead and add the whole ounce in there. So yes, take it easy when you drink it. An ounce of Malibu. Once again, we're doing half an ounce of the blue bowls. Beautifully done. It smells fantastic. So this drink, we're going to add just a splash of coconut water as well, just to give it a different perspective, especially having Malibu added to this. So this drink, I'm gonna teach you a secret as well. Because it does not get any acid like lemon or lime, it does not need to be shaken. So we're just gonna go ahead and stir the drink. Stirring the drink is super easy. You see it at the bar, often done by the bartenders. Goes down and you shake it just to cool down the alcohol and let them bind all together with the juice, with the water. Smell, aroma comes up, and I'm definitely gonna go ahead and drink this. Probably a little bit of taste. Exactly what I want. Fantastic. So now this is done for me. I'm gonna go ahead and add ice to my glass. Once again, don't be shy. A lot of people say easy on ice when they get the cocktail, but I think the more ice, the better. Don't slow down. With cocktails, drink it as quick as you can. I guess I'm a bartender, so this is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and add a deep blue color. Absolutely beautiful. So this one, we're gonna go ahead and add soda water and finish it off. Very refreshing. The ladies are about to taste it, so they will find out how brilliantly tasting it is. We're gonna go ahead and add some juice balls, just to add a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of surprise in there, because as you bite through, the whole juice bursts into your mouth. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna go add, these are edible flowers, and then just finish it off with a little bit of acid aroma. Ladies, if you would like to come forward, Pam, Naomi.
Thank you.
Enjoy, of course.
Thank you, Amen.
Absolutely.
Cheers. To the gala.
To the gala.
Very beautiful.
All right, ladies, now that you have had the chance to taste both beverages, what do you think? Which one is the true winner?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to tell here.
I think
Let's cheer to the drink. Cheers to Kidney Gala.
Well, thanks for joining us again on Plugged In, because you're in for a treat. We have someone who's a familiar face on the show. None other than hockey royalty is in the house. Woohoo! It's Cindy Cherry.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining
Royalty.
us. And this time we're in Saskatoon.
That's right, I get around in these Canadian provinces.
You sure do. But last time was at the Giants game in Vancouver.
That's right,
I think
that's
it was
right.
The Giants versus the Victoria Cougars.
Yeah, well, they know how to throw a party there. They put on a good show.
Now, you know what? We're going to talk a little bit about all the surprises that are coming up with the WHL.
Oh, yes.
But just want to talk a little bit about organ donation registration, organ donation itself, and you are a living kidney donor. You donated your kidney to your brother.
Yes, yes. And well, you know what? It's been 40 years ago, not 40 years ago, in this month, 40 years ago, October the 10th, I donated my kidney to my brother. Still going strong, Scouts for Central Scouting in the CHL, and thriving. So you can imagine how I support organ donation.
Boy, it's fantastic. And actually, let's just take us back there a little bit. I know we talked about that previously on the show, but recovery and everything for you, because that's really important, because a lot of viewers aren't sure, you know, living
Well, this
donation
is it. You know,
on
we
the
got to
line.
take the mystique out of it. You know, like
Right.
I was, you know, sure, they make sure you're really healthy, and I was, I don't know, 21, 22, something like that. And the thing is, I was out of the hospital in 4 or 5 days. I think I broke a record getting out. I was back to work October 10th, November. I was back 4 weeks. I was back to work. I had a physical job then. So we have to take the mystique out of living organ donation. Right. We got to bring that to the forefront.
Right. And most people don't know, you know, we're born with 2 kidneys, and we only need 1 healthy kidney.
That's right.
Right? So we're born really with a spare to share.
Well, it is a spare. I mean, I'm perfectly healthy. I've had a kid and the whole deal, and I had no restrictions on my lifestyle whatsoever. So it really is, you bounce back pretty good.
Right. Well, you know what? This brings me to a great topic, because we're going for round 2, second season of WHL Suits Up with Don Cherry to promote organ donation, of course.
Yeah, well, you know, it's successful when they come back the second time around. So it was a great success last year. We raised a lot of money, which is very important for the Kidney Foundation. But not only that, but we also brought great awareness. And that was the thing that my family wanted to bring to the forefront. When I told my dad 2 years ago, when we were just starting to talk about this, that Canada's 23rd in the world for organ transplant, who would believe that? And he says, well, what can we do to change that? And I thought, well, you know, the hockey culture in Canada is pretty strong, so why don't we go with the hockey people to say, you know what, this has got to change. So we did this campaign with the Kidney Foundation, and I must say it was a great success. Remax came on board. They were the heroes. They sponsored it, and it was a very, very successful campaign. And the positive outcome, as I said, money, but the thing was, in Western Canada, organ transplants went up 13%. So I'm not saying, you know, it was 100% us, but you know, that awareness thing, you got to look at it. It was in Western Canada, it was in all of Canada, it was in Western Canada. So I think Dad might have hit the nail on the head with the hockey culture of Canada can step up.
Well put, well put. So let's create some buzz because season 2 is coming up.
Yep.
And I think I was reading, there's 17 teams in the WHL.
Yep.
And it's kicking off January the 19th. The Edmonton Oil Kings, I think, are hosting the first game.
That's right.
For this next.
Yeah, I think it's the Battle of Alberta. They said the two rivalries are going at it or something. Yeah. So and they put on a good show in Edmonton for that. So we had a lot of fun last year. So you know what? They go online. The players wear those great hockey sweaters, and the kids sign them, and then people buy them as souvenirs and all. I mean, it really was something to see all these players out there dressed in hockey sweaters like Dad's suits. It was just hilarious.
And they wore them proudly.
They did. We were always hoping that the home team won because of them. Dad took great pride when they won.
So now I saw on the schedule 12 games. I think it wraps up somewhere March 9th or so in Kelowna, the Kelowna Rockets. But in between, there's games Friday, Saturday nights all over the province. We'll put all that information up on the screen.
Yep.
I think to the first 1,000 visitors it is.
Well, we don't want to say the first 1,000. There was different ways of doing it. So one way or the other, they're going to have 1,000 people going to the game are going to get a Don Cherry bobblehead, and we had to change it up this year. So rumor has it that we added Blue to the bobblehead. So Don Cherry and his dog Blue. So
really?
Yeah, we had to change it up a bit. So you don't see Blue too many as a bobblehead, a bull terrier. So
I remember the days of Blue, a superstar.
That's right.
In its own right.
We like to think so. So that'll be cool. But you got to come out to the games to get it. So anyway.
Now we saw the game in Vancouver. You dropped the puck.
I'm becoming.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like Don Cherry now. I'm getting pretty good. As Dad always says to Ron McLean, you got to look up when you don't put your head down. You got to look up at the camera. So I got it all down. I was lectured from the pro on how to drop a puck. Okay.
And I'm going to give you the last final words. Anything you want to say to our viewers about the importance of organ donation? Maybe a step they can take today.
Well, you have to talk about it with your relatives, okay? Sure, you know, you have to say, you know, if anything happens to me, I want my organs, you know, donated. I mean, there's so many great stories out there. So communication with your relatives, and you know, go to the kidney.ca, and they tell you also how to sign up in different provinces. So that is the main thing, is talk to your relatives to know what your wishes are.
Cindy, thanks so much for joining us. I hope it's not the last time we're going to see you on Plugged In. We'll catch you at one of the games, and we hope we see some of the viewers there too. WHL suits up with Don Cherry to promote organ donation, and it's presented by Remax. What a great night for your family to go on out. Right. Check your local listings, call up the team, find out when you can catch that game, and maybe you'll see Cindy there.
I hope so.
Thanks, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Reduce their salt intake. The recommended sodium intake for adults is not more than a teaspoon a day. Try to limit the amount of processed food, or don't add salt to your food. Your kidneys will love you for trying your best. I'm Kaylana for Plugged In.
Would you like a Plugged In exclusive? Heard for the first time now?
That's what we dream of. You got something for me?
Yep.
Oh, wonderful. Drum roll.
We have had a living donor who has been undergoing the testing to see if we're a match for the last, just about the last year now. And we got back from a big swing through Alberta, where I was entertaining in 2 or 3 places, and I got a Facebook message from him. The message said, I hope you're not busy November the 22nd, because that's the day you're supposed to get my kidney. So when we first set up these interviews, I didn't know about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what was the feeling when you're reading that?
Well, you know that there are living donors being tested, but naturally the recipient probably is the last one to get much information, because obviously we don't want a living donor to feel any obligation or any pressure. And if they feel at any time that they'd rather not proceed, they've got to be totally free to do that, you know. So,
Right.
so I had been, you know, hadn't heard too much about it, but he did tell me he was going down for 3 more days of testing at the end of April, and that's the last I heard until we got the news.
And he is a match.
Keep them fit and active. Take them out for a walk or a run. Aim for 30 minutes 5 times a week. This will help maintain a healthy weight, which can help control both blood sugar and blood pressure. I'm Sophie for Plugged In.
So Hugh, I have to say, when I met you today, you had a spring in your step, color in your cheeks. You're here at the Kidney Suite, and I've noticed a glowing smile on your lovely wife, Billy's face. So please connect the dots for all of our viewers. What's responsible for all this? What's been happening?
Well, we're here almost 6 weeks after the transplant now, and we had it actually on the scheduled date, November the 22nd, and things seemed to go, I was very fortunate, things seemed to go without any complications at all, and at this point, a little bit of soreness, but nothing that's a big concern, and I am feeling just fine.
So Hugh, November 22nd was the day of the transplant. Is that right?
Right.
Right, okay. So tell our viewers, we got to hear, share that day with us. What went on? How'd it go?
Well, the donor goes in first, of course, and they remove the donor's kidney. And once everything is stable, then the recipient goes in as soon as possible after that, and they install the kidney in the recipient.
Right.
And so I am, you know, feeling pretty good about the whole process. I wasn't really nervous to that point. And
smooth going?
Yeah, and I'm laying there on the stretcher just before I was wheeled into the operating theater. And the nurses were so good there. And one of them comes walking up with a clipboard in her hand, and she said, "Well, Mr. McLennan, we're just about ready. I know we've had a long checklist of a lot of conditions to meet, and we've met most of them, but there's one more item that we have to take care of just before we take you in there."
Okay.
And she said, "I don't want to raise your stress level too much, but this is what it is. Your mustache has to go." I said, "What?" "No, I've had it since I was 6. It'll take me 3 months to grow it back. I can't." And then she started to snicker and smile a little bit, and she says, "You know who told us to tell you that?" And then I knew. It was Lewis, my donor. The last words he said before they wheeled him in was, "Make sure you tell Hugh his mustache has to go."
Well, he must have been in a great mood in order to come up with something like that.
Oh, he is so upbeat. And so then, just before I went in, I got Billy to get her little camera, take a close-up of my face, and we photoshopped the mustache off and sent the picture to Lewis.
You know what, the comedic factor, even when you're being reeled in.
That was kind of the mood, just as, you know, they're starting to put the IV anesthetic in, and we're still kind of snickering a bit.
The Kidney Foundation of Canada BC Newcomb branch is pleased to announce that our guests of honor and keynote speakers at the 7th annual Kidney Gala are Toby and Bernadine Boulay, parents of Logan Boulay. Sadly and tragically, Logan was a victim of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash last April.
Logan, he sought the background. He was a fixer, he was a cleaner-upper, he was a supporter. He's also a leader, but a quiet leader. So he would probably say, "I help 6 people lead better lives." And that's...
You know, you think about Canadians in history whose stories have inspired and changed outcomes, and you know, the one that comes to me, and someone was saying about Terry Fox the other day, but in the same breath they then said Logan Boulay. Is Logan Boulay the Terry Fox?
I don't think Logan's Terry Fox, but this is just me. Terry Fox calculated what he did, and he did the run, and he had to stop, and the stories are there of the living Terry Fox doing the run. Logan's frozen in time, so we only have the stories we can tell and what we hear about Logan. So there's differences there, but I do understand and I do appreciate 100,000 people have registered, not just signed up, they've actually registered to be organ donors in Canada, and there's I think 4 or 5 provinces don't actually have registrations. So it's not even counting those provinces that people then did what they do in Saskatchewan, they got their sticker. Like that's not even actually keeping track. So if you add those numbers in, it's quite a large sum, and I do believe that it's exponential, that it's making a big difference. I believe that the massive tragedy and Logan choosing to sign his donor card, and we made it public, is that it's now kitchen table talk. It's routine kitchen table talk. We've had that conversation ourselves, and then I've had many people contacting me who I don't even know via Twitter, Facebook messages, cards, whatever it is, that I sat down with my family and I had that conversation where I could never imagine of having that conversation. I'm older, and Logan had it with me, but it wasn't a family talk. But I believe that the Logan Gooley effect is bringing it to the kitchen table. And to me, that's the crux of the matter. That's the legacy we're now, if families are comfortable talking at their kitchen table about ultimately death, and there is live organ donors, that's true, but ultimately that's what you're talking about, that's a huge step towards being a giving society and serving society as best you possibly can.
And that is it for our Kidney Holiday Show.
Really?
That was fast.
Yeah. Aww. Yeah. And lots and lots of fun.
My favorite guest on the show today?
Who?
Stanley!
Of course. I love horses. He was so cute and cuddly.
Yeah. I think we should thank everyone for watching our show today. I hope you enjoyed watching it.
Did you know that you can also watch Plugged In on YouTube? While you're there, please subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button.
Yes, please click on the red subscribe button.
Just one more thing. Because giving presents is a fun part of the holidays, in giving spirit of the holiday season, please take a few minutes to register to be an organ donor.
Go to kidney.ca and click on the big red button.
It only takes about 2 minutes to do it.
Remember, heroes aren't born.
They're registered!
So please register.
Thanks for celebrating the holidays with us today.
Right here on
Plugged In!
Happy
Holidays, everyone! Cheers to a happy holidays.
Happy Holidays.